Hello viewers, this is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. I want to read on Venezuela today. The UN Secretary General has warned that the crisis in Venezuela is at a tipping point. As we know, we've got Russia, China, Syria, Turkey, Iran coming out and telling the US it shouldn't interfere in Venezuelan politics after the US Trump-led government recognised the opposition leader as an interim president. Now, I've got a series of questions here. The current president, Nicolas Maduro, has given the US 72 hours to get its diplomatic people out of Caracas. We know that Venezuela is in crisis, is in economic crisis. We know that Russia has provided support there for some time. So let's have a look at some questions here to get a feel for what might likely occur, because it's so close to North America, and we don't want also we certainly don't want a major conflict breaking out in Venezuela, which could threaten any global global peace. So the first question is there likely to be a war in Venezuela? Let's have a look at that. Is there likely to be a war in Venezuela between those that support the current president and those that support the opposition leader? Is there likely to be a war between the current president's supporters and the military, which do support the current president, and those that support the opposition leader? Is there likely to be a war? Yeah. Okay, so we've got the Nine of Swords coming forward, which is, obviously not a good card. You can see what is occurring here. It's actually quite a serious situation, that is provoking anxiety and grief for all of those people involved. We've also got the Two of Wands here, which is, really waiting for results. So there's not a large-scale breakout at the moment. I'll just bring the laptop down. There is not a large-scale, I guess it's, what we've got is protesters gathering in the streets now. But the two of Wands is, it comes forward in relation to a waiting period and making choices. So this is an unfolding situation here at this time, but there is also critical decisions to be made, potentially by the US and potentially by Russia as well. This is rock bottom and a painful ending. Now, I'm not sure who this is going to be for, whether it'll be for the current president or the US recognised interim president, who is the current opposition leader in Venezuela. But there is this is indicating bloodshed here. This is indicating protesting, rioting, very, very, perhaps the military stepping forward. And something coming to an end, because we've got judgment, the judgment card coming forward here. So it's almost like this situation has been brewing. It's been brewing obviously for some time, as we know. Judgment cards mean endings. And we've got the Nine of Wands here, and this is around test of courage. We've got boundaries really needing to be maintained. This is this is not in its literal sense. This is actually defences, and really testing those defences. It's interesting. And we've got the Three of Wands. Commerce, expansion. These are overseas interests here. This card is indicating potentially Russia, China, Iran, Turkey. There is some. Venezuela has oil, gas, other resources. that I think this is. Yeah, this is about trade. It's about supporting particular regimes. It's about that geopolitical capacity that I talk about, because this is a very strong overseas influence. But it is going to be painful endings for someone. Now, either it will be the current president or the so yeah. The answer to the, of course, we've got theft here. So we've got the Five of Swords coming forward. This is the card of well, it is violence. So the question that I asked, because I haven't asked who's going to either retain power or ascend to power in Venezuela. The question that I asked is, will there be bloodshed and violence? And yes, potentially a war there. Yes, there will be. And it will be someone's end. Okay, so this is the battle. But we're only talking internally here. Though we have that card which is indicating that overseas interests are really involved here. They've got their own agendas, including Donald Trump has his own agenda as well. So is there likely to be war, bloodshed? Yes, there is. Will Russia provide military support for this? So let's have a look. Will Russia provide military support for this? Now, we know that they landed their... were landing fighter jets there. So it is, as the UN Secretary General said, that it's at a tipping point here. It's a very worrying situation. So will Russia provide military support to the current president to help him in some way keep control of power in Venezuela? Will Russia provide military support to the current president? So there has been monetary support, and we know that. This is the card of, really providing resources in order for something to really pay off. So let's have a look here. The question we asked: will Russia provide military support? And we've got the Four of Wands here, and that really is around close. It's the celebration card. So that really is saying that this support has been given in order for the current president to hold power. And we've got the Queen of Cups here. Now this is coming forward in relation to resourcefulness again. So yeah, this is saying that support has been given, and really it is to prop up somebody who is under attack here. We've got potentially more support than what we know about, because the High Priestess is around the subconscious, things being currently hidden from our view. We've got the Knight of Pentacles, which is again the action and the monetary support. My card for Trump is coming here. Is coming forward here. Let's just leave that for the minute. Secrets around Donald Trump. And the illusion card as well. The Seven of Cups. Okay. So Russia will provide, or has provided, military support, has provided and will provide military support for Venezuela. But I'm picking up Donald Trump's energy here in this reading, and I'm also picking up secrets and illusions, so smoke screens. So my other thought here was the Venezuelan situation. May also be, like the government shutdown may be deflecting from what's currently going on in the US at the moment, so that everybody's attention goes on Venezuela. We've heard it said that Trump would love a war in Venezuela. But recognising that current the opposition leader as interim president was a pretty bold move. While the US doesn't want a Russia-backed regime in Venezuela, obviously, just coming out and recognising the opposition leader as an interim president. Of course, the current president then said, US diplomats, get out. What happens if those diplomats are harmed? They haven't left Venezuela yet. So will the US provide military support for the opposition leader? Their interim president, the interim president that they've recognised and backed, which, as I understand it, is quite an extraordinary step to have taken. Will the US provide military support for the opposition leader in Venezuela? Will the US provide military support for the Venezuelan opposition leader? Okay. Justice. Let's just have a look. I'll bring the laptop down. We've got justice here. We've got inspired action. We've got really the relationship between the US and the opposition leader. We've got retreat. Now that's interesting. We've got retreat in the Four of Swords, which is the retreat after battle card. We've got the Five of Wands coming forward here around rivalries and challenges and obstacles. This is actually, this is describing the situation in Venezuela. We've got the Seven of Swords here. We've got some kind of theft happening. This is also the card of violence. So in some way, there is this aspect to what the US is doing at the moment in Venezuela. I don't have a close enough grasp on South American politics to provide any kind of judgment around what is occurring there at the moment. I'm sure my viewers will in the comments section. But there is some kind of theft here, this taking, really trying to take something from someone. Yeah, okay. It's just, yeah. We've got transitioning and moving on the current president. We've also got treachery. So some of these cards that are coming forward are quite worrying. We've got secrets and we've got some kind of treachery going on here. And painful endings. Painful endings for someone. They're obviously trying to transition the current president out of government to install the opposition leader, the interim president as he's now being called. It doesn't look like they are going to provide direct military support here. But there's some kind of secrecy around this. Some kind of secrecy and potentially some kind of treachery in the works. I don't think there's going to be a war in South America on the doorstep. We'll ask that question. There is some kind of the situation's not all that it seems, okay? And there is going to be some kind of painful ending here for somebody. My feeling is that okay. Will the current president hold on? Will the current Venezuelan president hold on? And then when I've finished, I'll give you what I think, what my intuition is coming through as I read. As I said, I'm not an expert on South American politics, but these cards do tell a story of their own, don't they? So will the current president hold on in Venezuela? Will the current president hold on? I'm getting yes. Okay. So the Seven of Wands, okay, is around someone being embattled, and that's currently happening at the moment. It's having to defend oneself. This is the current president. However, they've got help because the Three of Pentacles is the teamwork and the really money flowing in to help this president hang on. This president is isolated at the moment. This is the Eight of Swords. There is growing opposition to his presidency. We've got something ending, the Judgment card, which of course came forward before. Got some kind of treachery happening here, some kind of secrets, things that are beyond our current view in relation to who's supporting who. And we've got the swords coming forward again. This is reflecting the bloodshed that is currently happening, the potential for a civil war in Venezuela. We've got isolation here. I think we're seeing the current president, and we've got really the hangman. This is reflecting, which is, really as it looks. This is around sacrifices, someone potentially being, tying themselves up in a way. This is suspension. We've also got this self-government card coming through in the Nine of Pentacles. We've got the Sword of Truth. Self-government. Okay. This one is hard to call here because there is so much violence and so much conflict in these swords. There is so much conflict happening here around the government of Venezuela and around the self-rule of the people. This is the Knight of Wands and their right to democracy. And this is the Sun. I asked, there's some conflict in this reading. Okay. My feeling is that likely that the current president, will hold on, even though he possibly should be stepping aside and opening up, because there is a judgment element here. And there is also secrets and potential treachery. And I think that's on both sides. And he is quite isolated, the current president. And this is him really. He's upside down there on that cross. And the Venezuelans are caught up in all this because what I'm seeing potential treachery on both sides in relation to the Russians, China, Syria. We've got that block of alliances yet again. And we've got the US taking that extraordinary move in recognising the opposition leader as the legitimate president, rather than perhaps going in with more diplomatic means. And there is an element of this moon. The moon came up in that reading as well. So there's an element of subversion there or subterfuge there as well. So it's almost like there is a legitimate situation unfolding in Venezuela. However, the forces, the international forces, including the US, are intervening, are interfering, are making matters worse for their own benefit. And even though the current president probably should go and is not supported by the people. He may just hold on, but I'm just seeing so much conflict. The swords are all about this conflict that's currently there, and there is going to be bloodshed, unfortunately, in Venezuela. But I don't think it's going to result in a war. So that's my intuition around a very, very complex, worrying situation in Venezuela. It's not going to lead to a global conflict between the US and Russia. Because how could it really? How could it? Because we've got a president who's actually supporting Russia. But what this reading does show is that the various parties are. We had the moon. We had the violence, the theft card, the subterfuge. We had all of those negative cards coming forward. So it's almost as if all players are trying to influence the situation for their own means. So I'll leave the reading there with just the summation is, while we will unfortunately see bloodshed in Venezuela, it won't lead to a large-scale conflict. That's what this reading is saying at this point in time. I will need to do an update on this if things worsen, but at this point in time I don't see a major global conflict breaking out over Venezuela, but there will be internal bloodshed. All right, we'll stay on this as needed. The situation regarding the American diplomats in Venezuela now is a critical situation there as to what might or might not occur as we go forward in this situation. Thank you, viewers.